Hello. How's everybody doing? We're a little early, but just kind of here to say hello before we start. What are we doing? We are animating architecture. Whatever that will be meaning, we will find out soon. Or I guess you guys will find out soon. Tech architecture with Josh. Hello everybody, hope you guys are having a good night or morning, I guess. I don't know where everybody's at, but hopefully you guys are doing well. Today was some really nice weather here in Canada, Toronto area, so I walked to the voting polls today, so that was nice. Asked my parents like, oh, where is it? And they're like, oh, it's not too far, it's pretty close. I was like, oh, okay. It was not too far away. I'm gonna walk over there. So I walked over there. Not too bad. 20-minute walk. Not too hot. Not too cool. Although by the end of it, I was kind of sweating just because the sun was a little bit warmer than I was expecting. So yeah. Yeah, today was really nice to walk to the voting center, so I was like, why not? Why not? Mother's Day, yeah. Is anybody buying any special gifts for, I don't know, the special lady of their lives? Sounds kind of, maybe I just say mothers, the mothers of their lives. Mother, that sounds also funny. Just anybody buying a Mother's Day gift. I was asked that and I realized I don't really I didn't plan on buying anything. I didn't have anything in mind, but now that it was brought up, not just in chat but by my friends as well, I'm like, maybe I should buy something for my mom. Hello Fruity, hello. Yeah, welcome in everybody. Guys are just joining in. We'll be starting pretty shortly. It is 9 o'clock, so yeah. My mom actually requested that I do a painting for my grandma, so I'm like, oh, maybe I should do that. But the funny thing is, my mom requested it so last minute. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to finish it for Mother's Day, but I'll keep in mind of doing a Mother's Day painting for my grandma. It just might be past Mother's Day though, so I don't know how well that will go. But yeah, I guess we'll get started. Hello everybody again for joining us. Hope you are all having a very good night. If this is your first time joining our streams, welcome. I'm just gonna get all the windows ready so I can put up the plugs. But yeah, welcome to our stream. My name is Josh. I am one of the instructors here at Wing Canvas, and welcome to our stream. If you've never heard of us before, we are Wing Canvas, and our mission at Wing Canvas is to make art education easily accessible to everyone. Join us for free live stream lessons every week, because we're not just a YouTube channel, we're an online school of illustration helping art nerds turn their passion into income. And also shout out to our amazing students and members for supporting our mission. We love seeing your incredible work and watching your skills improve in our classes and weekly critiques. Here's a little flashcard for the weekly critiques. And if you're an art nerd, be sure to join our Discord, where you can find our notes and artwork from streams, as well as art challenges and other resources to help you improve as an artist. Also, that little flashcard for Patreon's a little old. We're kind of slowly migrating more into school. So if you are curious about kind of our online, I guess, I don't know how to say it, or I'm kind of the words blanking out on me right now, but our offerings. Yeah, we're kind of shifting a little bit of our online offerings, and we're kind of shifting a little bit more into school. It's SKOOL. So if you are interested in checking more of our online classes and recordings and our previous kind of catalog, maybe not catalogs, but previous old recordings from our actual classes, our live classes, be sure to check out school. And also, you may notice on the upper right corner, this stream is sponsored by XPPen. So we'd like to thank our sponsor for this stream, XPPen, who have an awesome selection of digital art tablets for both beginner and advanced artists. If you're looking for an affordable and reliable digital tablet, go browse their store. You'll find the link in the description of this video, and I am currently also using an XPPen tablet that was very nicely provided by them. So yeah, thank you XPPen for sponsoring the video and also providing the tablet for me. And I've been using for, I don't even remember how long I've been using the tablet for, but it's been a few months, I think. It's definitely been months, and it's been pretty good. So I really like it. I love all the little buttons on the side. Makes drawing way more easier. I don't actually, you guys might not know this, but I used to put my keyboard on my lap because I know my desk space arrangement is a little odd. So usually I put my keyboard on top of my lap while I draw, and then I have to kind of, I don't know, T-Rex hand over my keyboard to input the shortcuts while I paint and draw. But since the tablet, because it has all the buttons just conveniently on the side already attached to the tablet, it makes it very easy for me to draw and not have to worry about putting a keyboard on top of my lap. So yeah. I am not sure. That's a good question, Kevin. I don't know if you're able to check in on that, but yeah, I do not know about the screen cracks and kind of what warranties or what kind of assistance they might provide with that, but definitely, I guess, yeah, it doesn't hurt to check it out, see if they do provide any information on that. Yeah. Okay, so we'll get right into the stream. For today, as you can see on my screen, as well as the title of today's stream, we are going to be doing architecture, and we're going to be animating architecture. Oh, thank you, Stairwell. I'm glad you enjoy my voice. I don't think there's anything that special about my voice, but I appreciate the love. But yeah, we're gonna be animating architecture for tonight, and because animating and also drawing architecture is pretty time consuming, today we're gonna skip out on the monthly art challenge. So if you guys didn't know, every month we do a monthly art challenge where the community on Discord shares their art pieces that is related to the monthly challenge. And for today, or not today, this month, it was the month of architecture. So April, architecture. You know, April starts with A, architecture A, so architecture. And so that's why all our streams are also architecture based. But because today it might be a little bit of a longer stream, I will not be showing the monthly submissions. But if you guys want to check them out, definitely join our Discord, go to the Art Challenge channel, and you can check out all the community's submissions for the monthly art challenge. So yeah, it is very pleasing. Oh, thank you. Maybe as it goes on, I did kind of take a nap beforehand, so maybe my voice has a little bit of that napping husk to it. But then over time, it's gonna loosen up and maybe not be as pleasing, maybe. But tired voices do sound very nice. I do agree. Yeah, I always wish it could just stay that way, but it ends up going away afterwards. I did bring water though, so hopefully my throat doesn't get too dry or overworked. But yeah, I think that's how it goes for everyone. I think so too. I think like no matter what, when you wake up, your throat is just so relaxed that it's a little bit deeper than usual. But yeah, today we're going to be doing animation. As you guys know, because we only have about 2 hours long, both drawing an architecture as well as animating takes a lot of time. So I'm going to try to divide up the time as best as I can. And I did get some assets and get some planning done ahead of time so that we have enough time to do as much as we can. And for today, I kind of grabbed this collection of art pieces, and maybe I'll move this over here for now. But yeah, I kind of want to go for a bit more cyberpunky, futuristic city, maybe, but also with that, retro futurism, with like aliens and I guess Blade Runner kind of vibe, the old 90s, 80s, maybe not 90s, I guess it's like 70s, 80s type of sci-fi future. I always love that aesthetic and it's really cool. So I got some, I'm pretty sure also, I found this on Pinterest, but then partway through I realized I'm pretty sure this is AI, and this one maybe is AI as well. It would be awesome if they were real, but I have a feeling this one definitely probably AI. But yeah, I found some concept art pieces from Batman Beyond, the animated series. So it's unfortunate because I don't know if anybody saw it, but there was a news announcement saying that they tried to pitch Batman Beyond, the animated kind of movie, but then Warner Brothers turned it down, or at least they were like, we don't know if that's the direction we want to head in right now. So all we get is some cool concept art pieces. So I was like, oh, that's a really cool inspiration. So kind of looked at that. And then here is a kind of illustrated poster for Blade Runner. And we're going to be kind of going for more this vibe. I kind of already set up somewhat of a slight direction that I want to head into. But we're going to be using this as kind of a bit of an inspiration and a bit of a composition guide. And then also not only that, I put in here very small little shout out to Ghost in the Shell, the animated film over here. I always love this shot. It's such a cool like breakdown of the city. So also brought this over as inspiration. So you can see the inspiration for the piece, or the style, I guess, that I want to go for is a bit more neon, retro, futuristic-ish. So we'll see how well that goes. Because the downside to retro futurism is that it's very cluttered. There's a lot of detail, and of course, due to time, we might not be able to get it as cluttered as possible. So we'll see how much we can do. And then my thought process for the animation is that we'll just animate some of maybe the neon lights, or animate some lights flickering on and off, maybe that kind of stuff. Make it kind of old school matte painting vibes, where it's a whole painting, but then only like the lights blink here and there, so it feels a little bit lively. So we'll do something like that maybe. So we're going to be pretty much focusing more on the illustration aspect, and then add a little bits of maybe smoke and effects for the, like, making an animated illustration. And hopefully we have enough time to add all of that. Yeah. I wouldn't use it for reference anatomy, but for inspiration for sure. Yeah, definitely. I was thinking about it too. I'm like, yeah, unfortunately AI, it's a tough topic. But yeah, I try not to have it as best as I can. If I can avoid it, I want to try to avoid it. But yeah, and then I guess before we go into the drawing, you saw a little flash of it. I'll kind of go over what I was thinking of for the idea and the composition of this piece, so you guys can kind of in a way not really follow along, but you can kind of take my approach as inspiration if you kind of want to do it in that way. We're going to be doing kind of a one-point perspective. Well, I say kind of, but it just is a one-point perspective approach. And that's because I took a look at this picture and I was like, oh, I love that shot. I always love shots that have a very striking center, where it's very bright and saturated and neon, and then everything else is kind of silhouetting it. I know that's not a word, but it's cutting it out, and it focuses in on this very interesting shape for like the light center. So it's like the same thing with the Ghost in the Shell. It's like right down the middle. It's like very bright, very saturated, and it's kind of cut out and cropped by the city. So I love that, and I think it's like a really striking shot every single time I see it. So we're gonna kind of use that as inspiration. And my goal for this piece is that I want a low setting, or maybe not low, maybe that's not the right way of describing it, but I kind of wanted the horizon line to be pretty low, so that we have a lot of space for this very vertical kind of rise for the buildings. And then we're going to have like one character down here kind of looking up at the shots, and then we'll have a bunch of cities, skyscrapers and buildings and lights, and then we'll have a little crack for some lights, or for not for the lights, but for like the sky. And yeah, we'll kind of go from there and kind of slowly just paint it out. So this way of animation is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be, I guess, in a way, our typical approach for animation, but instead we're going to kind of go about this like an animated matte painting. So yeah, hopefully it'll kind of be cool. Hopefully it'll give off some cool vibes and you guys will enjoy it. So yeah, I already got it started a little bit beforehand, before the stream started. Yeah, I'm now thinking maybe I should make it a little bit bigger for the image file. So give me a sec. I'm going to change the size of it just a bit. Let me see. Let's go, because I was afraid that in my, I don't know, my computer might use up too much memory. So let's see, 11 by, let's go 16. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, cool. So we're gonna definitely start off with a bit of like maybe a rough deconstruction of it. So as you guys can see, I have the image. Down here with the horizon line right over here. And then everything basically is going towards the horizon line. So if you guys are somewhat kind of following along, or you want to use this as an inspiration, just remember that 1 point perspective, you have, you have a, let's say this is our canvas and you have this set up. Just remember that everything needs to vanish towards the horizon line. You can't change the horizon line, you got to keep it the same. What can change though is where you decide to put the vanishing point, and that's why we call it 1 point perspective, because we just have one vanishing point. Everything goes towards the singular vanishing point. So whether stuff is up here or down here or down here or here, it will always go towards this one singular vanishing point. Okay, so that was kind of like some things that students I tend to see kind of make a slight mistake on, is that they might change the vanishing point to a different spot, or they might change the horizon line to a different spot. Everything should feel like and go towards the singular vanishing point. Okay, so that's what we're gonna be using as a guide for this one over here. Oh, and if you guys didn't know, I'm not gonna walk over this, but I basically made a clipping group. So I basically had a gray square, and I right-clicked it, and I went to group, and then I clicked on quick clipping group. And so now anything that I draw that has a crossed out A will stay inside of the gray square, just in case anybody is kind of curious about it. So I'm going to use this as kind of like a starting base, and I was actually thinking about it, and I kind of want, by the way, we're just doing kind of a bit of a rough, so it's not going to be, this is not going to be the final version, but I did kind of want to paint over it. Oops. I did kind of want to paint to figure out the composition and the sizes of things. And I actually kind of want to go for this blue, maybe, let's see, do I want to go, how blue do I want? Kind of like this, maybe this blue, this kind of a blue for it. And we're going to kind of follow the shapes that I had for it. So I personally think that if you ever want to try out this kind of skyline cutout setup or composition for your piece, it's a good idea, I think, to make sure that this strip isn't too symmetrical. Like if you look at the Blade Runner example here, it's cut out through like the signs and the shapes of the buildings as well as the lanterns. And then same thing here, like it's changed throughout the shapes and also the lighting for the Batman Beyond one. And then here it's the cutout of the buildings as well. So it's not just a light, piece of light that comes in. So having the separation and differentiation in shapes is going to make this light passage look cooler, more interesting at least. Oh, do you do any streams, or does Kevin stream? You know what, that'd be so cool. We should have Kevin stream. Building worlds. Yeah, building worlds. World building is building worlds. Actually, it's funny. I was talking to my friend, and she was like, I told her just like, oh yeah, like the lore of the world, and she was like, what is lore? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I've never had anybody ask like, what is lore? But I guess everybody is going to be coming from a different kind of perspective and experience, I guess, when it comes to like literature and all that kind of stuff. But lore or world building is kind of creating a new world with its own rules or history, and kind of maybe economics is different, the species might be a little bit different. So like Star Wars has a different type of world to it because the tools that they have, the technology, the species, the race, the history, even technically, I guess, like the whole concept of the Force is not like what we have. So that is kind of the world building. It's kind of separate from our world, and it's a little bit different. And world building helps you understand like what are the rules of this world and the history or past. At least that's how I like to think about it. There might be a little bit more to it, but I think that's a good kind of way to think about it. Okay. What is lore? Yeah, rules, cultures, environments. Yeah, exactly. To support storytelling. Yeah. But the lore. Yeah. Good enough. You know why? It's because I literally just watched Star Wars, and I was like explaining to my friend like, oh well, like lore would be from like what we see in Star Wars. Cause she's never seen Star Wars before, and I was trying to explain to her like, oh, these are the kind of rules of this world. This is the lore of it. And she's like, what's lore? I'm like, the what? You don't know what lore is? Oh, okay. I didn't see that coming, but okay. That's cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is, because I like this very kind of patchwork grid approach to the buildings, I kind of want to actually just build it out by using the square tool. This way we can kind of draw it out really quickly and not have to worry about painting in these squares every single time. So yeah, we're gonna change it up a little bit, and basically I'm just gonna use good old what is it, my goodness, my brain, good old atmospheric perspective approach to painting these. So because we got a bunch of squares and patches in different kind of layers and everything, it's going to help make it feel like it is in different perspectives, hopefully. As we'll all, and I think it would be, you know what, it would be kind of cool to paint with this limitation, only use like squares and these blobs shapes to create this cool sci-fi kind of world. I think that'd be kind of neat. Maybe I might actually go for it. We'll see. This is kind of cool. I really like the shapes that we're kind of creating with these by just cutting out and everything. Very sci-fi feeling. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Okay. I like this. This one's not too bad. I might kind of bring this back up though. Actually, I might bring this over here, and then we'll just use a darker color for the buildings that are closer. So up to here, basically. Yeah, something like that. Geometric art styles are so cool. Yeah, I like it too. Yeah. I did not grow up. I love that question. I did not grow up with Star Trek until the J.J. Abrams movies. So all I know, in terms of like Star Trek, is actually just the whatever the J.J. Abrams films were. So unfortunately, I do not know too much about the Star Trek films. So, but I hear people love them, and I can kind of see why. So, yeah, I don't know. I think they're kind of cool. They're cool, different kind of universe, different kind of world. I think it's kind of neat. But yeah, I don't really know personally. I don't know too much about the Star Wars film. I mean, not Star Wars, Star Trek. But on the other hand, though, I did grow up on Star Wars, so I am definitely more on the side of Star Wars and not on Star Trek, unfortunately. So yeah, it's I'm more on the Star Wars side of things. But I think both are cool. Beforehand I was like, oh, they're the same, right? Like, what's the difference between the two? But definitely, I think like over time, after hearing people kind of talk about Star Trek and like why they like Star Trek, I think they're both valid. I think the love for the two of them is like really cool, and I think the world building for both the series are unique and natural. So in that regards, I think it's cool. Then we'll go slightly darker again. I'm kind of just honestly making this up as I go and kind of just figuring out like what shapes I want in front and what shapes I want behind and everything. So I am kind of just going with the flow and seeing what kind of shapes and cities we get with this approach here, and it's gonna be cool. Again, this is kind of just the rough, actually. Like, I actually am just kind of going along with it and seeing what kind of building shapes we can make with this approach here. So it's kind of cool. Maybe we can put this here. Yeah, we can have this. Maybe I'm probably gonna need to start making some darker shapes to differentiate them. Sure, we can have this one here. This one, maybe we can have one. This one can be the darker one. Yeah, maybe something like that. Be kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah. Chat up a storm. I definitely do think it's like that's like a comment battle right there between Star Wars versus Star Trek. But yeah, I grew up with Star Wars, so I have a more love for Star Wars. Like I watched ever since I was a kid. I had that Darth Vader slipcase kind of the VHS tapes. It was the special edition, so it was like definitely the edited edition. But yeah, no, I love Star Wars. Although the new stuff has not been hitting, but honestly, having not watched Revenge of the Sith for a long time, going back to watch it in theaters, I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty good. I think if you go in with the right expectations and kind of understanding where George Lucas is coming from when he wrote the characters, the acting when you first watch it is like, this is weird. Like, the acting's whack. But I think when you go in with something a little bit with a certain kind of mindset, it's like, you know, it's not too bad. I understand what he's going for. Yes, I think Star Trek definitely more sci-fi, and then Star Wars is more space opera. Is the term I've heard to describe it. Is more just, yeah, space opera. No, but once I get... Oh, that's so nice, Star. Well, yeah, we love... I think, you know what, if you got a passion for teaching, yeah, teaching at Wing Canvas is awesome. Yeah, this looked like something out of PowerPoint. Yeah, you know, I can see that. Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I did see someone ask about line work. Maybe I'll get to answering that down the line later, just after kind of maybe after I finish up the sketch a little bit more. I'll kind of maybe go into my thoughts on line work, because I love line work. I would say my specialty is line work. Yeah, I love line work, so I would not mind going into kind of my thoughts on line work and kind of how I typically approach it. But yeah, I love line work. Sorry, I'm kind of getting focused because I'm like, okay, I want to figure out and kind of figure out what I want for the buildings and how do I want to space this out and divide it all and everything. So yeah, it's kind of just figuring out what I want to go for with this piece. I think the horizon line is here actually. Oops. Okay. There we go. Not too bad. Yeah, so for anybody joining just now, we're kind of just building out this street level. I actually might lower the horizon line a little bit more and have it like down here. Kind of similar to the Blade Runner image, kind of a little bit lower, so that it's a little bit more like we're looking right up at the character. And then we haven't designed the character yet, so maybe I'll draw the character now. I did want to have this kind of, I don't know, Ghost in the Shell inspired type of character, and I wanted to put the head right close to the kind of the horizon line, so I think that'd be kind of cool. Maybe we can go more Ghost in the Shell vibes and give it a little bit of a helmet. Oops. Does it have to end right at the horizon line? Oh, that's a good question. It doesn't. It does not have to end right at the horizon, depending on where, if there's buildings or not. So right now it's all ending right at this singular point because everything has to go there. But on the image itself, if you have something obscuring it, like a building or like a person, kind of like what I'm drawing right here, then no, you do not have to have the... It does not have to look... I should say it does not have to look like everything ends right there. Everything technically does lead back up or back towards the vanishing line, but everything does not need to... It does not need to look like it ends right at the vanishing line. Or the horizon line, I should say. Silhouette is a little interesting. So, I don't know. We will see. I think it's just like maybe the buildings and whatnot. So I like these. I'll kind of start going in and drawing out some stuff. Again, this is kind of just the roughs. So people are like, "Oh, what's going on? Why is the drawing like this?" It's because I kind of wanted to use the shape tool to figure out the placement of the objects and everything before doing some line work. And then the floor. Ooh, might be a bit of a tough one. Floor, I think it should go back to maybe being bright. See, we have about 30 minutes. Go with that. Maybe I'll go with just a regular brush this time. Mark everything. A little clearer. To be endless. Yeah. Like technically, the closer you get it to the vanishing point, the more it looks like there's things here. But you can see if I block it out with like buildings and signs and everything, then it no longer, or the hope is that it no longer feels like it goes on forever. Because technically, it shouldn't really go on forever, because usually things start obscuring it, things start to block it and everything. So yeah, it's interesting with perspective. And also, by the time it gets so far into the distance, things just start getting obscured and things start getting covered and they start going away. So yeah, it's things are just gonna cover it over time. Maybe something like that. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Hong Kong before, but I haven't been in years. But my parents always tell me there's this restaurant near our house. It's like a Hong Kong cafe, and they always go like, "Yeah, you see how chaotic those signs are? That's literally how Hong Kong is. There's just a bunch of signs and road road signs and everything, and they all just cover the streets and everything. It's absolutely chaos and super super hectic." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, interesting." So yeah, we're going for the more city lights, city streets type of signs here. Well, you know, the line work right now is just so that I can kind of figure out where I want things to be before we really go in and like quote unquote maybe clean it up. But yeah, I'm kind of really just using this Blade Runner image for some inspiration because I love how just hectic and chaotic it is. And I was like, oh, I think the best way is, instead of drawing it, to use a line, just to use some line work to indicate roughly where things should be. So yeah, it's really there just to help me figure out what I want. But thank you, Stairwell. Thank you for the encouraging comments there. Appreciate the kind words. Maybe even lower. Might even lower it a little bit more. Yeah, this is complicated. If you guys have never been to my streams before, it's this is kind of a common thing that happens on a Josh stream, typical Josh stream, where it's like bite off a little bit more than I can chew all the time. Where it's like, what do we do this? How about we like add in a little bit of that and everything, and then in the end it's like, too much work. There's too much work adding all these lines in and everything. There's a lot of work going on. How do I want to do this? Ooh. Look at the street here. I think it's like just that maybe this is too small feeling. So I might just have some of the bigger signs block it in a little bit more. Sorry, I'm gonna be like maybe a little bit on the quieter side just because I'm gonna be kind of figuring out composition a little bit more. Since we don't have too much time, I want to make sure we have a little bit of time to kind of tackle some stuff. Locking it, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, fog. I like that. That's a good suggestion. I like that recommendation there. Fog would be definitely a nice recommendation. Because we got a cyberpunk kind of street here. Actually, I guess it should be maybe closer. An alley, like an alleyway kind of approach. Maybe not alleyway, but you know. This would be the last chunks of the darker value around here. Kind of taking a little bit of cue from the Batman logo, or not the logo, the sign, the streets and everything. You're gonna have to sleep? Okay. Good night, Stairwell. Thank you for joining us. Really enjoyed all the really nice things that you had to say. Really appreciate your positive energy and your love for the content so far. But yeah, hope you have a good night's rest. I'm assuming it's nighttime. I don't know. Maybe you're having a quick nap. power nap or something. But yeah, hope you have a good rest, and maybe we'll see you on another stream. Yeah, love to have you back on. 9:40. That's true. It is a later time. Bye bye. Ooh, nice. You guys playing Gardic Phone? Nice, nice. Like the little games that we're playing with our audience and everything. That's always cool. Might have the person be in this like giant jacket instead of it feeling too sci-fi feeling. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's slowly getting there. Ooh, I'm always down for that. Yo, Kevin, where are these invites at? I'm just kidding. Where's the invites for the Gardic phones at, Kevin? Oh my goodness. Little too much information there, but but I appreciate the little update. Samurai Jack? Oh, that's a good one. You know, now that you've said that, I'm like, oh, I can totally see this being like a Samurai Jack kind of like an environment right here. That's actually pretty sick. I wish I thought of that. I was just going for more just like a random cyberpunk kind of environment world. It's like, you know, the slums and everything, and we just got a character standing out here in the dark alleyways and everything. Well, that's cool. I was thinking more just like it's like a girl with like a giant rain jacket, poncho, because you know them in cyberpunk world, and at least in Blade Runner, everyone's has like an umbrella. It's always raining and everything. So that's kind of what I was going for. But I like that thought, right? I like that thought. You know what? If you want this to be Jack, you can it can be Jack. You know, if you want it to be Jack, it can be Jack. I don't know why I'm putting all this detail in, but I think it's kind of cool. Have a little bit of pops of colors here and there for it. I think it's gonna be cool. just get a little idea, a little taste of the colors, you know. I definitely want maybe it could be like this. This could be the sky color. Because I feel like it's missing a little bit of that neon pop there. And this way it'll be also easier to identify and kind of see what is part of the sky and what is part of the buildings. Because I think we kind of got a little bit lost, or okay, I always say we during the streams, but I really should just say I got a little lost on the information and the separation of information for this piece. So we're gonna kind of add a little pop of this color here for this shot. So yeah, something like this. That'd be cool. I yeah. If I fall, we're all going down. Yeah. And especially Kevin. Kevin is there for the fall. there's no I in team for exactly. So it's a we fail kind of moment. You know, maybe I might keep it this kind of scratchy. Maybe we'll see. So it has a bit almost of this, almost like this comic book style aesthetic. Kind of liking it. We'll see how much I'll clean it up in a way. Maybe might not exactly clean it up, but we'll see. We'll see. Does you get paid with my appreciation, Kevin. That's what you get paid in. Paid in love. Appreciation for sticking it through with me through thick and thin, Kevin. That's your payment. Yeah, that's kind of cool. $9.50, not too bad, not too bad. My Chinese is horrible. I can write it, but people who know how to write Chinese will see it and they will know that I cannot write Chinese. So I'm like, I feel like I should write some Chinese, but then at the same time, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't write Chinese. I don't know. We'll see. Ooh, you know what? To go with the whole Samurai Jack thing, we'll give her a sword. She's got a little samurai sword over here. Yeah, I think that'd be that's kind of cool. Get a little sword. Oh. Arm should be like here, probably. I kind of like the shape beforehand, but I don't know. might adjust it afterwards. It's turning out awesome. Oh, thank you. Yeah. You make up your own. Oh, you know what? That's true. I'll just make up my own language. That is a good idea, actually. I might go with that. Ooh, a watercolor effect? That would have been really cool. That would have been not too bad. Also, I'm thinking that I want to have, probably gonna go for very light, just some few things here and there. I don't think I'm gonna go for any crazy rendering. So if you guys are just joining in, what I'm kind of going for with this right now is more just like a impressionistic type of breakdown of this just city, street, or I guess alley. It's pretty much kind of like a dark alley, illuminated kind of thing. And then we're gonna animate the lights, animate some kind of effects and some stuff. Maybe not effects, but just some like few blinking lights and everything. I think that way it's not too bad. Yeah. All right. I realize I guess I made this a bit too bright. Shouldn't have been this bright. Maybe we can have a slight skyscraper in the back. Indication of like a deeper, another level, another layer to the city. Is the sword kind of big? The sword feels a little bit like it's pretty big. But, you know. Oh. There we go. I was wondering, like, why does it feel kind of odd? And it's like, oh, it's because it's, shouldn't be getting the highlights from the jacket there. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. I think hopefully by the time I get this colored in, I'll maybe start answering some questions that I saw on the stream, because I think I saw some people were wondering like, oh, about like line work and all that stuff, so I might kind of answer it a little bit, maybe. But yeah, we'll kind of we'll see how far I get into it. So in terms of like the reflection, if you guys didn't know, water or any kind of, oh, if only Quinn was here. Quinn would love this little ramble, I guess, about about puddles. But puddles are essentially just reflections from the sky. So the reflections, but they're also lighter than they're gonna be, no, maybe not lighter, but they're a little bit duller than the actual reflection. So if you ever want to draw or paint kind of like waters or puddles, just keep in mind that it is meant to be not as bright as the reflected thing or a reflected image, or yeah. So I'm just doing a little bit of some quick reflections. It's not gonna be perfect, but just doing just doing the best as I can. Yeah, I guess so. Leah Low. I guess you can kind of think of it like that. Yeah, the sky and the sky would affect the buildings around it. I'm just doing it more for stylistic purposes. Kind of like yeah, I'm kind of more so doing this because, you know, it's easier. I don't really have to render too much. I can kind of just go at it. But if you want to think of it like that, you can. I think it kind of helps to think of the lighting will affect the colors of the buildings, for example. So I do think that's a good approach and kind of thought to have when going into your lighting and everything. So yeah, that's not a bad way to think about it. Do I have a playlist I use while working? I kind of listen to everything, honestly. Let me see. Okay, I have a very basic taste in music, so if anybody wants to recommend anything, I am down for recommendations. But I was surprised. We were listening to some songs, and Khalid popped in, and then I was like, I was talking to my friend, and I was like, "Oh, do you know who?" She was like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "Khalid? You've never heard of Khalid before, or like you don't recognize his voice?" She's like, "No." I was like, "What?" He was so popular during the during like what, 2013, 2014 or something, and so I was just listening to it. Honestly, it's not bad. It's like a pretty chill soundtrack. But I also have like a retro playlist that I listen to. It's got a bunch of, I guess, like old 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s kind of music. And then what else? What else was I listening to? Oh, Hotline Miami. Honestly, the Hotline Miami soundtrack, that's a banger. That's a banger soundtrack to listen to. If you just need to get lost in kind of just some, is it EDM? I don't know if it's considered EDM, but like the Hotline Miami soundtrack, that is a nice soundtrack to listen to. Yeah. Can you show how you make layer? When I make any character, there are tons of layer. I make everything: dress, hair, body, their color. Honestly, that's not a bad approach. Depends on the style or how complicated you want your layers to be. So if you're like, if you're not too sure, so the only time I ever split things into different elements is if I'm not sure what color that I'm gonna color those objects to. So if I'm not too sure about the hair color, the shirt color, I will separate them into its own layers so that I can just change it immediately afterwards. And the reason why I change them or I make them into its own layers is because if there's some like textures or some effects that I have in the way that I shaded in or colored in the shirt or the hair, then that's like one of a good reason to separate them into layers. But if not, then I would say like sometimes it's okay to just have it all be on one layer and just maybe do a clipping mask and separate the lighting, like maybe base color, then lighting, maybe, and then other kinds of effects into layers. So instead of separating kind of like what you said, where you split it into different layers based off of the different elements like hair, colors, eyes, skin color, all that kind of stuff, instead of separating them by elements, separate it based on lighting. This way you might, lighting and effects, maybe this way you would have less layers. So that's kind of one thing. Shoes? Oh, shoes. Shoes off, shades on. Playlist of 450 songs. Yeah, I don't really have anything, but now that you mention it, Hotline Miami is always a safe one for me to go to. And also the Cyberpunk playlist, I kind of go to that one as well. Like, but I kind of curated my own. So I kind of looked up the Cyberpunk Edge Runners score, or not score, the soundtrack that they had for Blade Runner, the show, and then I basically kind of cherry picked the songs that I like. Yeah. Oh, I didn't really go by grayscale. We can do a grayscale check, so I saw that someone mentioned that beforehand. If you guys don't know how to do it, one way that you can do it is to make a new layer, like a blank layer, then grab the square tool and just drop it on top of your image, and then just go to the blending mode for your layers, and then just go to saturation, and this is what it looks like. Wow, this makes it look so sad. My like with the blues, it's like it's still kind of grungy, but it's like comic booky. But man, this looks kind of sad actually. It's like the black and the gray. The value is great though. Oh yeah, honestly this looks pretty sick, but man, it's so dour. It's so down looking. Not late by an hour. No, it's all good. Don't worry. It'll go back up. Does this work for all programs? Yeah, it should work for all programs. So if you guys didn't know, you can basically just take. Dang, now I kind of like the black version. Like the grayscale version actually looks kind of sick. Well, you know, maybe I'll give you guys both versions. We'll still stick with the blue just because that's kind of what I stuck with, but I'll give you guys both the colored version and the black and white version, because honestly the black and white version I kind of like it. I'm digging it. But yeah, it's color mode or saturation. Yeah, it's depending on the program. So I don't know if Krita has that option, because I know it's a Photoshop kind of a thing, and maybe on Clip Studio you could do that as well. But on Krita, I'm not too sure. Honestly, there might be, but I just find that you could do this with just this. You just make a new layer, drop in a black square over whatever it is that you're painting. Let's see, where is it? Like this. And then, oh, I guess color works as well. You can use color, and then, or you can use saturation, and it basically turns into a grayscale interpretation of your piece. Yeah. In dark alley scene, make it look serious. Yeah. Honestly, this is pretty cool. Yeah, right now I'm just painting on one layer. That was not the intention, but I think what I might do now is, because we got about an hour, I'm gonna start doing cleanup. Or I'm not going to change this, but I might, well, I feel like at this point, like, well, why separate them into different layers? But I don't know. Well, should I just keep it all in one layer? Well, I kind of want to actually do multiple. Maybe this way we can kind of see the different stages of the painting. You know, we'll treat it like that. If there's a program that you can't do it, don't do it. Do not as many frames, but I still have clean animation. Ooh. I guess it kind of depends on what you're aiming for. So if you're going for a very clean animation, that's gonna be kind of hard to not do with to do that without sorry, my words, I'm trying to paint. But if you try to do that and your goal is to have clean animation, I would say that that's kind of hard to do with very little frames. The only way that I can kind of see that being possible is if you are going for a more animatic approach. So that means that kind of whole storyboard approach is how I would kind of go about it. So if you're going for a more storyboard approach, which is a little bit choppier, it's a little bit more sequence by sequence, then you can go for a more choppier approach. But if you're not going for that and you do want to do like a proper animation, then I don't really think there's any way to go around it. You're just gonna have to animate majority of the scenes. You're gonna have to animate majority of the frames, and you're just gonna have to put in the work to get it in. So that's the kind of just unfortunate truth about animating, is that it's just gonna be a lot of work and everything. So yeah, I know it's annoying, but that's kind of the trade-off, I guess. I don't know if trade-off is the right term, but that's just kind of how it is for animation, is that it's just a lot of work. It's very time consuming and everything. So yeah, just kind of have to go in with the right mindset and understand that animation is going to take time, and then if you want something clean, you are just going to have to animate it. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm kind of doing a more stylized painting for this piece. I'm not really trying to worry whether I have the proportions perfect for her, but kind of doing this more stylized painting, I think would be really cool. But yeah, hopefully that kind of answers your question, because the reason why animation looks smooth is because there's so many frames of animation. So if you don't have all those frames, then it's just gonna look rough. So it's best to kind of go in understanding that the more frames you have, the smoother it's going to look. But that's why I said in the beginning it's a little bit based on style as well, because if your style is meant to be a little bit rougher and a little bit choppier, then you can kind of technically get away with it being a little bit rougher. It doesn't have to be super clean all the time. There's a lot of animations out there that's a little choppier, but it still looks really, really good. So yeah. Yeah, honestly, like, you don't always have to go. That's a good point. You don't have to go with the full 24 frames every single time. That's when it's gonna use up most of your work and time. But if you're going for like something a bit more stylized and it doesn't need to be super smooth, you can always get away with it being just 20, like not 20, 12 frames or so, and it should be fine too. 12, or what did Leaded Jungle said, 15 frames. Honestly, I've never heard of that, but that's pretty cool. I guess that you could pull that off too. That works and everything. Yeah, I changed my brush partway through, so if you guys didn't know, I have this brush, this one. I really love this brush. It's called Bristles 2 Flat Rough. Now this one I did not change any of the settings, so if you guys know me and my brushes, I took this one, which is the charcoal pencil medium, and I adjusted it. I adjusted the kind of effects on it so that it's a little bit more like a real pencil in how it can be used. But yeah, this one I did not change, and I love this brush. So it's very painterly. It's almost a little bit like a marker. I guess you can kind of think of it a little bit like a marker. And it has a little bit of an opacity as well as texture feel to it, and I really, really like it. So I usually kind of just keep it as is. Oh, you know what? We are going to just have the sword stick out. This way it's a little bit more, the silhouette is a little cleaner, because I realize it's a little bit hard to interpret and kind of understand what is happening with the silhouette. So we're going to have a cleaner silhouette. Yeah, but hopefully you guys are liking this. I'm starting to animation to... Ooh, nice. Would love to see your animation, Leaded Jungle. I read the title is Bridging Architecture. Yeah, Bridget. Yeah, you know what? That's a cool that's a cool title. I like that. Bridging architecture. That is what we are doing here. We are bridging, definitely bridging architecture. I like it. Not bad, not bad. Okay, I think I'm gonna have the character be on its own layer, so I don't have to worry about it too much. And then in terms of cleanup, I don't think we're gonna do too much cleanup. We're just gonna maybe... I think the shapes of the signs, we can leave them as is. But I guess like the side buildings, since those are closer to us, might make that... I might kind of add a little bit of detail. So I'm gonna take a little bit of inspiration from the Batman Beyond image over there. Kind of just draw some trash bags. Paint in some trash bags here. Or whatever these were supposed to be from the Batman Beyond image. Maybe even go a little bit darker for these ones. So it feels a little bit more ominous. Yeah, we're going for a more rough comic book feel. Hopefully you guys are like this. It's a little bit of a different approach. I don't think I've ever really drawn anything like this before for streams, so there's a little bit of a change of pace, but hopefully you guys don't mind it and you guys kind of find it kind of neat, a little bit different, kind of cool. But yeah, I'm kind of enjoying this because it's a bit of a different kind of approach, so it's kind of cool. It's a little different. The Batman Beyond panel is so cool. I know. I really wish that we can get a Batman animated series, or not series, Batman animated version in like animated form. That would be so sick. I would love to see that, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it'll be happening. But I really hope Warner Brothers gives it a shot, gives it a chance. I think everybody would literally be like, yes, give it to us. Let us have a Batman animated series in animated form. That would be well appreciated, Warner Brothers. So please. But if anybody's itching for some Batman Beyond, there is a I've mentioned this before on stream, but there is a comic book called Batman Beyond the White Knight, and it's not too bad. It's pretty good. So little comic book shout out there if anybody is into reading comics and wants to check out some Batman Beyond stories. The art is amazing. The story is a little bit it's a little cheesy, it's a little corny, but honestly not too bad. It's okay. But the art is amazing. So highly recommend people check it out if you have not checked out, or if you want some Batman Beyond recommendations. Hey, it's not looking too bad, not too bad. This is my new background. Oh, thank you. Thank you, them siblings. Appreciate the love here. Appreciate the love. Glad you are liking this. Oh, should I give a back symbol on the jacket? Maybe I should do a symbol. Should I? Well, you know what? I'll put it on a new layer, and we'll see whether it's needed. But I was thinking like Z or something, like Z, like it's glowing. Although now I'm thinking like, oh shoot, if I make it glowing, I'm gonna have to make it look like it's glow like it's glowing. Well, you know what? Whatever. We'll go with the Z, and then we'll go because it's glowing a little bit. Gotta have a little bit of like a white core to it. And then I guess we can add a little bit of a glow to like the sword, because the Z is lighting up the sword a little bit. I am exaggerating and pushing it because technically it would not be glowing this much, but you know, for exaggeration purposes, we will have it glow a little bit more around the jacket than usual. But yeah, I don't know. Do we want the Z? That might be a bit too much. That might be a bit too much. You know, maybe you know, or maybe we'll change the colors. 3 hours long. Yeah. Let Josh just do it, you know. I don't know. Well, I think we'll keep it off for now. I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want that kind of. I don't know if that's what I want for the picture. But you know, maybe we'll do like a variation. If you guys like it, maybe I'll put it on. But I feel like maybe it's a little bit too much, so maybe I won't. I'm not gonna put it on. But if you guys like it, maybe I'll put it back on. But it was a little much, so not too sure. Maybe just smoothing out the water just a little bit. This is a 3 hour long stream, Kevin. Everybody get a drink ready. No, I'm just kidding. We will do as much as we can, and then we'll just, again, like I said, we're just gonna do some simple twinkling lights for the environment, so that the focus is really more on the painting part of it. Getting a nice grimy looking environment here. Yeah. Let's see how it looks like in black and white. Ooh. Honestly, that's so nice. Oh, the black and the gray shot looks nice. Ooh. Oh, although, you know what this reminds me of is the whole Tron. Did you guys see the new Tron trailer that happened? Oh, I am very excited for that. Regardless, I think, of whether it's gonna be good or not, I think I'm gonna watch it just so that they can hopefully make more. And because I love the Tron movies. I love the Tron soundtrack. I love the movies. So if they could make more Tron movies, I am down for that. And the fact that they're also having Nine Inch Nails writing the score, Trent Reznor writing the score for that score for Tron. Oh, I am so excited. I really hope that the movie is not too bad. But yeah. Oh, look at that. Hey, someone just donated. Oh, I am definitely mispronouncing the ATEC? H? Oh, is it H? That, you know, I like that. If it's supposed to be pronounced like H, hey, I like that. Is there any way you could add green into it, or will it look weird? Oh, green? That's not a bad suggestion. We could maybe throw it in there. Stream is going a little long right now, so I don't know if I got the time to experiment it, but you know, I do like that suggestion. So I don't know, maybe I might play around with it later at some time, but I like that. Thanks for the suggestion, and thank you for the donation. Really appreciate the support and the love there. I don't know. Let's see. It's got just some random markings and lighting here. You know, I don't think I'm gonna go for a super clean. Not gonna go for a super clean rendition of this environment. I kind of like the grimy, gritty, kind of comic book feel. Very, very like Batman-esque in terms of the looks of it. So I think I'm gonna keep it kind of more grimy feeling. Let me know if you guys kind of like it like this, because I am vibing with the more rougher aesthetic. So might go for that more. But no, I kind of like your suggestion there. I might take it for actually as we go further into the distance. Instead of sticking with this blue, because that's kind of the original plan, was to go for this more blue look, but I think I might just have it be a bit more green instead of a blue finish. So you know, maybe not exactly green, but maybe like a turquoise color could be like kind of neat. I think it would match a little bit more of maybe not exactly, maybe we'll go with like cyan a little bit more, see how that, if that works or matches. But yeah, I like the recommendation, and again, thank you for the dono. Love to appreciate the support and everything. Yeah, looks like an alleyway in a Cyrung city. I love it. Hey, thank you. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I love kind of like that neon grunge city, so definitely it is exactly what I was going for. So glad you were able to pick up on it. I mean, it's not that hard to pick up with that. It's like that it's a grunge city, but I appreciate that you enjoy the city or the cityscape that I'm drawing right now. You know how like a while ago Jesse did a lo-fi painting? I feel like this is my lo-fi painting, but sad cyberpunk version for it. So this is like a few months ago. Jesse did a lo-fi painting, and this is not lo-fi, but this is more of that. Well, I'm saying it's lo-fi, but it's not that chill, calm lo-fi. It's the sad sad lo-fi painting. Okay, there we go. It's not too bad. Get a little bit more of that ambient occlusion near the bottom of the box, and then the contact shadow the bottom. Oh, the bottom of the box. There we go. That's not too bad. Teal, cyan, turquoise. I agree. Honestly, I'm just like, I don't know which. I always forget which one is which because they're all like so close to one another. What is it? Teal is more. Actually, let's see. I know. It's like, Josh, you're an art. How do you not know the difference between teal and turquoise? Turquoise. Okay, cyan I know because that one's like that neon blue. It's like this one. This is cyan. I'm pretty sure, I think. Turquoise turquoise is, this is turquoise, right? And then this is teal. Teal leans more gray. Oh, I swapped them. I got the other side. How long have I been drawing for? You mean like in my lifetime or like for this piece? For this piece, it's been some time. It's been some time. I would like to say that it's been more. We've spent a decent amount of time. I actually am surprised that we still have 30 minutes left. So honestly, considering how much time we have been spending on this, I am surprised that we are not that far along, or not that ahead. I was actually thinking that I'd be like way more behind on schedule, but this is actually, for 10:30, that's not too bad. We technically have about 30 minutes left, but I will say that we're not doing too bad on time. And then Kevin's like, no, we are doing very bad on time. Imagine Kevin's just like, no, bad on time. We are bad on time. We do not. We need to pick it up, Josh. Yeah, let's go for this. This one was gonna be kind of like a little railing here. I think what kind of helps is like there's just this like mass of information and just like random like noise and everything, and I think that looks really cool. All the noise that's happening here kind of helps with the chaos of the streets. So that's kind of nice. Kind of helps. No overall lifetime drawing. Let's see. Kevin biting his nails. There's always a poll where it's like, will Josh finish the painting by the end of the stream? How long have I been drawing for? I mean, like every kid, I think, my parents enrolled me in art school. And the language, that's true. I should think about the language. Okay, what do you guys think about the Z? Should we put the Z back in or no? That's a little bit too much. We can maybe lower. Oh, right. I should stay on topic. Yeah, like every kid, I got enrolled in art school. But then I kind of got, I don't know, it didn't click with me for art until, of course, as cliche and as jokes as it feels, it's anime and manga got me into art. So like manga like Naruto, Bleach, and the Gray Man got me really into art, and I was like, oh, I want to draw like these characters. These anime characters are so cool. So yeah, and then I was like, oh, I want to learn how to draw. So from that point on, from I think middle school, like maybe grade 8, so I started to draw seriously and take it more seriously in grade 8. But then I think I didn't really try to learn the technical stuff until like maybe, this sounds really bizarre, but actually I didn't really take art truly seriously until like 3rd or 4th year of my university. And that's because I discovered concept art books. And concept art books made me realize, like, wait, people can design and draw characters for a living, and they get to design these cool characters. I want to do that. And so then I started diving into like character designers and artists and animators and everything. And then from that point on, just got into art a little bit more seriously. The reason why I say it's kind of funny is because you'd think that because I got into university, you would take art more seriously and like you'd be a proper artist, but I didn't take it seriously until like I was already in university. and I was like already partway through my classes, and then I take it seriously. So yeah, so it's interesting. Yeah, yeah, give me all the tomatoes. And then the teachers say no manga and anime. I know. Well, okay, so I think what helped maybe as well is that yes, manga and anime is what got me into art, but my real kind of, I guess, inspiration is actually BioShock. So if you guys have been to my like other animation, or not animation, but my other streams before, you might have heard me be like, oh, BioShock was like a big inspiration for me. And that's kind of why, is that BioShock got me into kind of like illustration and the understanding of like, oh, you can do these cool paintings with messages and design, and there's a focus on design and all that kind of stuff. And so that all that is because of BioShock, because it introduced me to like posters and like propaganda posters and advertisement posters, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, the art style. And then what is it, later on, this is kind of like a Josh deep dive, Josh lore here, I guess. But then my cousin long time ago bought me the comic book Fables, and then from Fables I learned about James Jean, and from James Jean I realized like, oh, I love this art style, I want to draw like this, I want to paint like this. So I think that's why the whole anime kind of thing never caught on for me, is because like later on I got introduced to other styles of art and other genres of art, and because of that I kind of ventured outside of just anime. Even though technically anime is what got me into art, it never became kind of my basis for drawing. It was never like the full reason for why I draw the way that I draw. So even though anime was the original reason for it, it was not the final influence. And I think that's kind of like a big part of why I draw the way that I draw. And then I got into like comic books and everything, and basically I just kind of soaked everything in. I just like ate everything up, absorbed all the inspiration and influence and everything like that. So in the end, it wasn't just anime, because I think if it was just anime, I don't think I would be drawing in the way that I draw right now. Yeah. He officially started drawing. Yeah. Maybe dim the Z. Not sure if the Z fits. Yeah, I feel like the Z, I don't know if it fits too much, so I don't think I will include it. Okay, no, I did have water. I have it next to me. I drink it every now and then. I'm drinking it right now. Here, I'm drinking this for you, Leaded. Yo, Naruto was a huge influence. And then it was Death Note. Dude, all my Death Note drawings were so edgy. I gave everybody like a hood, and everybody had these dark feathered wings and everything. Man, I was little. I guess we're bringing it back, with this dark alleyway. We're bringing back those that edgy atmosphere. One of my favorite instructors on Wing Canvas. Oh, thank you, them siblings. Appreciate the love. Final Fantasy Tactics games. Love that art style. Oh, I don't know what the art style, what it looks like, but that's cool. I should look into that. We can make a great cartoon show. Yeah, H. Yeah. Are you a voice actor? That'd be cool. Or are you going in for it? That's awesome. Guais and Loish, who got me wanting to improve. I think that's a cool thing too. So I definitely see a lot of times people ask like, oh, do I stay on social media or whatnot, and like, should I care about like what other people are posting? And my take on it is like, I'm okay, but maybe it's for me. So everybody's a little different. I'm a competitive person. So when I see people do really amazing drawings, I'm like, oh, I want to do better. Or I'll be like, I can do better. Let me do better. And then so I'll like aim to do better. but it's not like in a bad way, because I know that like maybe sometimes people can get kind of consumed by that, or it can kind of, you know, be a part of their identity is to always like achieve the best kind of a thing. But I don't know, for me it was I was always like okay with not being very good necessarily, but then it would always be a driving force. I was like, oh, I want to do better, let me draw better, kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know, but I guess that works for me, because I know that some people can get kind of in a spiral, a downward spiral, and like feeling like they need to compare themselves and everything. But I don't know, for me it's like fuel. It's like, oh, let me do better, you know, I can do better kind of a vibe. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I like it. It's motivational for me. So it works for me. Maybe not for everybody, but I think it's okay for what I was going for. Let me see. Okay, the sky originally was blue, but I kind of want to make it a little bit darker. But I'm gonna give it a bit of this like texture to it, so it's not like super clean. Absorb. I mean, you know, that's not technically wrong. I feel like that's a good kind of way to think about it. Maybe is like absorb. Definitely, you can get too sucked in, no pun intended, in the absorption of art, and then you don't make art, and you're just like, oh, I'm only absorbing. I think that can definitely be something that you can get kind of caught up in. I think I was in that too, where it's just like you just want to absorb. And when I say you, I don't mean like anyone in particular, but like I think there is it's very easy to get absorbed. And I would say try to remind yourself why you're absorbing. That sounds kind of funny, but it's like, why are you learning all these things? And it's like, oh, it's so that you can get better. So I think it's always a good reminder. Let's see. Yeah, still looking pretty good. Looking not too bad. The genuine craft of it, or whether it's recipe making. Yeah. You binged it. Original reason is because your parents never let you watch cartoons. Oh, yeah. Green hue color sky would be unique. Green. Ooh. Yeah, we can try it. I don't mind giving it a shot. Like a more turquoise. Okay, wait, is this turquoise? Turquoise. You guys said turquoise leans more in the green side of things. So we're gonna go for turquoise. I guess that feels more Neon City. This feels more cyberpunk. Yeah, I feel like the blue, it leaned a little bit too much in the like a normal sky color. This gives it a more like, oh, that's a weird. This is a non-normal, not our everyday world kind of vibe. Like this, our world is gone green. It's been changed. Bright in the center, dark outer sides. Yeah, maybe. I kind of want, well, I don't know, because I technically have been giving it a gradation. So maybe like, yeah, I guess it would get a little brighter around the bottom. I guess we could do that. The reason why I'm like, I'm not too sure if I want to have it be brighter is because of the whole graphic. It's a little bit more of a graphic approach with the painting. I don't want it to be too realistic in the lighting, so I don't know, but we can try it. We can see if it works. I think it looks pretty cool right now. Definitely not overly clean. I don't want it to be too clean with the approach. But then I would definitely have to change the lighting. lighting in the water. Yeah. You know, I like it. Not too bad. Oh, who on this chat? Yo, it is me. Yes, Cowboy Bebop. The green color, yeah, I like this. I like the green. So, whoever suggested the green color sky, nice. Akihiko Yoshida. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I love the art. Oh, oops. The world of N.E.R. That one's really cool. I forget. We can make it a bit different, like a golden sky, yellow shades all around. Okay, well, too many suggestions now. I don't think I have the time for making all these adjustments, but I appreciate the recommendations, everybody. I think I will just have to try to finish as much as I can, because we are definitely running into a time crunch now. So won't be able to, unfortunately, add all the wonderful recommendations you guys are having, but I really do appreciate the recos that you guys have. Definitely might have to make it a little bit more green over here. Yeah, and then we're getting into the part of the scenery where it's just fading off, so I don't want to add it too much rendering, but just enough. Ooh. No, dang it, I didn't put it in the right angle, in the right order. No. Oh well. I should have just kept it all one angle, one layer. I don't know why I tried to bother doing it in different layers. Oh well, whatever. It is what it is. Oh, thank you, Laurie. I don't know what that means. Sent one wing canvas gifted membership. I guess you gave it to. Oh wow, Broken Wings. You're a lucky one lucky viewer. Broken Wings. Good old Broken Wings got the gifted. Nice. Is worth buying, or should I stick with Sketchbook Pro? Yeah, Krita's free, so definitely you can go ahead and try out Krita. I personally highly recommend it, as of course the resident Krita user. I highly recommend Krita. I really like it. It definitely has maybe like a few shortcomings. There is the occasional, hiccup in the files, like can get really big and then could potentially crash, but honestly for the most part it's not that bad. It's not as egregious, I guess you could say, as I make it sound. So yeah, it's I would say definitely check out Krita, because I think Krita is definitely worth checking out and using. Great software, has a lot of uses to it, and I would say honestly pretty easy to understand and use. Oh yeah, also Kevin, I saw that you asked like, oh, did I think of what to do for the words and the languages. I have not. So maybe we'll do that at the near the end kind of a thing. Let's see how far I can get with this painting, and then maybe do the words afterwards. Do the words afterwards. Yeah, no, looking not too bad. Not too bad. Definitely gonna fade this out a little bit more. They're gonna get a little bit more chaos in there. But yeah. Which have you saved lately? Thanks for the reminder. Yeah. I'm kind of aiming right now for animation, but right now the industry is not looking too hot, so a video game wouldn't be too bad either. I think that would be kind of cool, doing some video game artwork and concept art would be kind of neat. My goal is mostly for character design. I'm not really an environmental painter, so yeah, I'm kind of mostly aiming for character design. I would like to get better at environmental painting though, because I think it's kind of cool. But it's like a different beast, you know. Getting into environmental painting is like a whole different ball game almost. So it's like a whole different kind of skill to almost learn and ascertain and go for. So yeah, not too sure. But mostly animation and mostly for character design. That's kind of the goal for now. But in the meantime, yeah, teaching at Wing Canvas, getting to know a bunch of you guys, and also helping other people kind of learn how to draw and everything. It's always fun. It's always a good time. Okay, so let me see. We got... I definitely think maybe I might have overdone it a little bit with the environment, but I think maybe we will call it here for the painting. I'm just gonna add a few more kind of just chunks and blocks here and there, and then we will move on to the actual little bit of... If you guys forgot, we were supposed to animate this, so yes, we will move on to the part where yeah, I animate. So we're just gonna animate some like a few blinking kind of lights and effects, and I think that'll be really cool. And then after that, we'll call it, and yeah, we'll go on from there, basically. So yeah, it wouldn't be Josh if I didn't go all in on it. I know, Kevin. I'm sorry, Kevin. I should have eased in. I didn't think I would be this caught up in the painting. It turned out so cool, and I was like, wait, I want to keep going. I want to add more. I want more, even though I shouldn't. Yo, the Revenge of the Sith showing, it was crazy. So I had people who had already seen it, and then my friend told me that people were cheering for the youngling parts. So I guess if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what scene I'm referring to. But he was like, oh yeah, people were like cheering for the younglings part. I'm like, what? That's wild. That's crazy. People are not doing that. And then at the theater, lo and behold, yes, people are cheering for the younglings part. It was kind of wild seeing that, or hearing that, I should say. So that was it was an experience. Honestly, I had a really good time because it was like filled with people who obviously love Star Wars and love like the world and the lore of Star Wars and everything. And it was cool. There were some people who dressed up, and then some people who were some people brought like lightsabers, and it was a cool time. It was nice kind of seeing people love Star Wars again. I think that's kind of I kind of miss that, you know. Having people love Star Wars is a weird thing to say, but it's tough. We haven't gotten any really good Star Wars materials in a while, and it's nice to see that people can still kind of enjoy Star Wars. Although, to be said, it is the prequels, so I guess it's kind of a little bit easier to love the prequels. The animating part, yeah. Yeah. Oh, interesting. I think if you go to the Krita website itself, it shouldn't bring you to the Microsoft Store. Like you should be able to just download it from Microsoft itself. So I don't know, maybe just try to see if there's a version that you can find on Microsoft. Not Microsoft, on Krita itself, and not not through Microsoft. Okay, I think this will be it, and then I'm just gonna do a few bits of writing. So we're gonna make up a language here. I do not know what kind of language to aim for, but we'll just make it up. We already kind of got it going here, so maybe we'll just do like some good old Star Wars looking type of language. What does this mean? Who knows? Who's to say? And then we'll maybe do some like Chinese style of writing. Okay, that's more Japanese, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm writing, but we'll just throw them in randomly. Let's see. How should we go for this? I am making this up as I go, so if it looks kind of like Star Wars and like bits of Japanese, I'm just kind of going off with it. There's no real thought going into these signs. I'm just kind of going for it. Maybe a little bit darker on this one. Maybe this one could be like a fish. It could look like a fish sign. There we go. That's kind of neat. Maybe we need a part 2 for finishing and animating. You know, honestly, I would love that. It would be kind of cool if we could. I don't know. I think we have it all completely planned out, so unfortunately, I don't think we have enough time to do it, but it is up to Kevin, I guess, in a way. He can kind of suggest to see if we can have a second part, or maybe I'll come back to it another time. But yeah, for now, I think I'm just gonna quickly try to just come up with a quick flash like of the signs and animation, so it's not gonna be anything too over the top. Here, we'll repeat this and be like, oh wow, so it looks like it has an actual language to it instead of just being random words and random gobbledygook, you know. Ooh, alien language. Very cool. You know, I did write a Z, so let's bring the Z back. Gotta bring the Z, so it looks like the Z is actually part of the language, you know. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, okay. You know what? I'm down. I'm down for a part 2. If you guys want to do a part 2, could clean this up and go even further on this. I personally don't mind. I'm really enjoying this way more than I thought I would. So yeah, I don't mind treating this one more as like a background drawing stream, and then we do another one where it's a little bit more. We do one that's a little bit more where we finish it and everything. Maybe that's a little bit too bright. And everything. Ooh, nice. Looking not too bad. I feel like it's I shouldn't be like, oh yeah, nice. But you know what? Sometimes it's good to just hype yourself up. Hype yourself up on your drawing and everything. Oh, hey, Emmy. Yeah, nice. Should we do a part 2? 100%. Yes. Oh, and hello, Emmy. Thanks. Hey, what's up? Long time no see. Glad you're able to catch one of these streams. Yeah, we can go even further with the details. I don't know if that's a good idea, but we'll see. I think it would be honestly kind of cool if we could like really go all out and develop it, but and everything. Oh right, I wanted to add the wires. Gotta get the wires in. Okay, so we didn't get a chance to do like the shoes and whatnot, but you guys know how it is. You gotta hang the shoes on the wires. So we're gonna hang a shoe right over here. Maybe we won't make it too dark so it doesn't stand out too much, but we'll have a little shoe here. Little Easter egg for you guys. For those of you guys who watch the stream, little Easter egg. There's some shoes right there. Heck yeah. Okay. Highlight around the characters. That to help them stand out. Yeah. So, you know, to kind of, you know, we got the whole dark silhouette, but just to give it a bit of pop of color, I gave the character a little bit of a highlight. The highlight's gotten a little lost because of, I think it's just painting over it and everything, but yeah. Also, might then develop the character a little bit more too. Maybe clean it up so it's a bit clearer as to like what the character looks like and everything. But yeah. Oh, it is 11 o'clock, so I guess we're gonna do a part 2. I will upload this one. And yeah, I guess we'll come back, clean it up a little bit, and then also I guess add the twinkly lights. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna be awesome. Maybe I'll even add like just like a slight haze at the bottom with the gradient tool, maybe see how that looks. But we'll save that for the next stream. I do think I kind of want to keep it more painterly, kind of like this. But yeah, thank you guys for the love and also all the donos as well, and the gifted memberships. Really appreciate that. And thanks for also all the love for this piece. So I guess I'll zoom it in here while I do the readings, the closing statements, I guess. Also here, let's look at how the gray version looks. Oh, the gray version, just, you know, there's something about the gray version. There is something really cool about the gray version that I really like. That's cool. Ooh, kind of want, maybe not so saturated. Kind of want to see like, oh, maybe like slightly, I don't know. Well, we'll see, but that's cool. But yeah, I'll leave it here while I read the closing statements. So yeah, just give me a sec as I bring these things up. Oops, it's not that one. Here it is. Great. So thank you everybody for joining the stream. That's going to be the end of this one. As you guys voted, this is going to be the end of part 1, so I guess we'll be continuing on with this piece. We'll add a little bit more detail, maybe do a little bit more rendering, and then obviously the main part of it was the animation. So it's like, oh, I thought you were going to animate a background, where's the animation? So we'll animate maybe a little bit of like the lights, we'll maybe animate even maybe some ships in the background, so we can play around with maybe the move transformation tool. But if that doesn't work out, I maybe might just have to hand animate the airship or something flying in the background and whatnot. But yeah, you guys can expect this to be done in part 2. And yeah, thank you for joining the stream. And as always, if this is your first time joining our stream and you missed it, don't worry. This will be posted later on as a VOD, and if this is your first time watching and you don't know who I am, my name is Josh, and I'm one of the instructors here at Wing Canvas. Who are we at Wing Canvas? Well, we are a school of illustration. Our mission at Wing Canvas is to make art education easily accessible to everyone. So join us for free live stream lessons every week, just like this one. They happen every Monday and Saturday. The Saturday ones are at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and the ones on Monday are at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And so, yeah, we're not just a YouTube channel, we're also an online school of illustration, helping art nerds turn their passion into income. And also shout out to our amazing students and members for supporting our mission. We love seeing your incredible artwork and watching your skills improve in our classes and weekly critiques. If you're an art nerd, be sure to join our Discord, where you can find our notes and artwork from streams, as well as art challenges and other resources to help you improve as an artist. And of course, the stream is brought to you by, or I guess sponsored by, XPPen. We'd like to thank our sponsor for the stream, XPPen, who have an awesome selection of digital art tablets for both beginner and advanced artists. If you're looking for an affordable and reliable digital tablet, go browse their store. You'll find the link in the description of this video. And so, yeah, thank you again, XPPen, for sponsoring this stream. And I believe that is it. So keep an eye out on Discord. I will be posting this image in both this one and the black and white, since I think the black and white one looks cool as well. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for an amazing stream, and we'll continue this on part 2. Oh, I guess I should also mention what the next one is. Let's see. The next stream is oh, I don't know, is this correct? It says there's a Wednesday stream. I guess it got shifted, but Jesse roasts art from Discord. It's gonna be April 30th. I guess it is real soon. Oh, okay, nice. That's gonna be a nice one. Everybody loves Jesse's roasts, so yeah, you guys have that to look forward on Wednesday. Keep that notated on your notifications, everybody, if you want to see Jessie roast some art. She's great at roasting. I'm terrible at roasting, so yeah, it's good that Jessie gets to roast, because I'm terrible at roasting. Okay, have a good night, everybody, and hope you have a good rest of the week, and yeah, stay safe out there. Bye. Good night.